regular guitarists, people interested in MIDI, and basically all things to do with V guitars. Now, I answered a question that another user asked on the V Guitar Facebook group a few days ago, and that particular user was having an issue where they were trying to send program changes from the hardware. So, for example, they might hit switch 1, bank 1, and that they were trying to send the program changes from the it's not from the VG, from the SY-1000 out to an external synthesizer or another, audio processing effects module or something, and the messages weren't going correctly. Now, I explained how to deal with it on the forum, but it apparently wasn't understood, or according to the administrator of the forum, I didn't demonstrate it. So I'm going to demonstrate it so that you can rest assured that I know what I'm talking about, and you will be able to deal with it if you have the same issue. So the particular patch that the person on the forum, whose name is not coming to me right now, sorry, was that we're going from user 25.4, and you can see when I hit that over here, I'm using the editor here for simplicity. Okay, so I clicked it twice. All right, so you can see that particular patch triggers on channel 1 a program change 99. I filtered all the other messages here because we don't want all the sysx data, or we won't be able to see what's happening clearly. I'll do that one more time. Okay, we'll go 25.3, you can see it's 98, 25.4, it's 99. Now the user was going to 26-1 and they were getting 0, right? Now that's the way that the SY-1000 is set up to transmit. So if you want to change that, you got to do a couple of things. First, you got to go here into your system settings, into your MIDI settings, and you need to ensure that this TX transmit PC program change map is not set to fixed, but set to patch MIDI. Right. You also want to make sure that the PC out is activated, otherwise it won't send any program changes out of the device. Now, with those things in place, what you want to do then is come to the new patch. So let's say 26.1. Now I've already set this up, so you can see it's going 100, but the other user would have been getting 0. What you do is, once you have selected the patch, you then choose the Control Expression button, and you go into the Patch MIDI submenu. In this menu, it's possible to transmit up to 4 program change messages from the activation of a single switch on the device. So right now it's set to MIDI channel 1 and it's transmitting MIDI PC number 101. Keep in mind the offset. They always come out 1 integer lower than what they're actually showing here because of the 0 to 127 versus 1 to 128 thing. Okay, now because we've gone into the second set, you can actually set this down to 0, 0, 0. Okay, the bank MSB and the bank LSB are used for that very reason, to access banks. So that's going to be 0 and that's going to be 0, and the rest are off. But say if you wanted to send multiple messages, say if you wanted to send a message to your Helix on channel 1 and another message to your, I don't know, AXFX on MIDI channel 2, and you wanted to send, say to your AXFX you wanted to send, I don't know, 46, and on channel 3 you've got, I don't know, you're sending, I send MIDI to my iPad sometimes if I'm using soft synths. So let's say that's going to be channel 3, and I want to activate program change, I don't know, 19. Why not? Okay. You can add another one here, but we'll just use 3 for the purpose of this demonstration. Now, I'm going to close that, and I am going to write. Yep. Because if you don't write the data to each patch, it gets lost. Can I not change the size of this? No, I guess I can't. Okay, so you can see that by doing that, it's actually triggered all this data. So if I go back to here, I'm going to clear this for a second. I'm going to go to 25.4. Right, it's transmitting program change number 99. And now I'm going to click this next one. And you can see it just transmitted 3 program changes. One on channel 1, one on channel 2, and one on channel 3. So that's kind of what this is for. Now, I don't personally use that. So I'm going to take all these back to off, close, and I'm going to save. I'm going to save my patch without that additional information. Okay, so let's just clear that. Okay, so, and I'm just going to go through the next few patches. Or you can see this one's already been set too, but I just noticed as I was looking at this that one of the things I haven't changed is the MSB LSB. Now, that can be set to 0. It's not, I mean, it's not really important in this case because I'm not actually accessing an external synth or external device at this stage. I'm just showing you how to actually transmit the messages. But if you're using a device that uses MSB and LSB data in order to select banks, this is actually going to be pretty critical. As I was saying, like before patch 2, if I wanted to send, say, something to my AXFX, I do have an AXFX over here, and the AXFX does use these bank change messages. So I would have to make sure that I'd selected the correct MSB. I think you only have to use one for the AXFX. I can't remember. I'd have to go through and test it again, but I have to make sure I chose the correct one so that it would go to the correct bank on the device. But I mean, that's probably a bit beyond the scope of this very kind of basic explanation. So I'm going to save that also. Okay. And I'm going to go to 26.3. And you can see also this one has been done, but I haven't adjusted the... I haven't adjusted the MSB LSB, so I'm going to take that to 0. I'm going to close, and I'm going to write. Okay. You're going to have to go through every single patch. I mean, in this case, it's only going to be like, what, 27 or 28 patches, but it's still a lot. I don't really know, like, I don't really use this kind of functionality because I don't use my SY-1000 as a primary MIDI controller per se. Like, it's kind of, you can see where it is now on the screen. It's actually sitting on top of a rack case, and I have it sort of set up at a point where I can't even reach it to touch it with my hands generally. So that's why I'm using the editor to poke around with it. But I don't use the switches like that to trigger other devices. If I ever do decide to use it as a primary controller, then I'll probably go through and set all this stuff up so that, you know, I can access the appropriate matching banks on different devices. But anyway, I wouldn't be thinking of the SY-1000. If I was doing things that way, I probably wouldn't be thinking of using it as a device to simply scroll through presets on another machine. I'd be using it to select very specific presets that would be in operation simultaneously. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. You can do what you want with it. Everyone's going to do something different and, you know, come up with different results. That's what music's all about. So as the basic demonstration, going from user 25-4 now, 99, user 26-1, 100, user 26-2, 101, user 26-3, 102, user 26-4, 103. Now I haven't set the next patch, mono oscillator lead. And when I click this, it's going to go to 5. Or 4, -1. Okay, and the reason for that, which we'll see as soon as the control expression becomes available after 3 million sysx messages have traverse the USB cable back and forward between the SY-1000 and the computer. You done yet? Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, and you can see here it's MIDI channel 1, MIDI Program Change 5, and it's gone to MSB 1 and 0. So I'm not going to change it. I'm not using it anyway. It's just for a point of demonstration. That's how it works. I hope that you find this to be sufficient proof or demonstration. And I hope that anybody who's struggling with the MIDI controls on the SY-1000 find it useful and helps you to get your patch set up in order and your program changes sorted out as you wish.